Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. In Eloy, Arizona, I dropped in Phoenix this morning. It's fucking hot out there today, man. I was going to do the video outside. I got my tag on, just realized. Anyways, I was going to do the video outside, and my cup right here for my coffee, and it was sitting on the trailer. It was so hot you couldn't even touch it. I'm not even kidding you. And I was going to lean my forearms onto the aluminum trailer. Man, it was hot. It was so hot you couldn't even touch the metal. And it's not even. It's 10:30 here, and it's that hot, man. It's crazy. Anyways, so today I'm going to talk about. So I was watching JK Bug Out, and he had mentioned that there was when Trump was at the Whirlpool factory in Ohio a few days ago. He had said that he won't. He said he has a lot of rich enemies, and we may not be seeing him for a while. Well, then he's come out and he's done the executive order. So we saw him like just yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. Anyways, today is actually August 10th. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Hi, baby. I love you. Hi, Mom. I love you. Cousin Danny. Hi. Pastor Rick. Hi. I love you guys and all my other friends and family. So my thing is, so on JK Bug Out, he put a video or showed part of Dabu 7's video, and when Trump was at the Whirlpool factory, there was some, before he went on and everything and stood behind the talking podium, there was a lady with a mask on sitting where Trump was standing, but it was prior to him doing the actual speech. And on the bottom of the screen in red, it said, blackout soon. It was in red. It was on the bottom of the screen. It said, blackout soon, brace yourself. And it was in red, and it had white letters. And the gal was just sitting there looking like whatever, she was prepping something. So JK Bug Out put that on his video yesterday. Well, So there's a few things. If I hope this isn't, my truck's not too loud, but it's fucking boiling, man. I'm not turning my truck off, so I apologize if it's not loud enough. I'm speaking as loud as I can without getting hoarse. So anyways, getting like a skin blemish. Anyways, probably heat rash. So that's pretty interesting. So on the bottom of the thing, it said blackout coming soon, or blackout coming, brace yourself. So that's pretty weird. So Trump, when he had stated that he has a lot of rich enemies and we may not be seeing him for a while, but then we saw him like literally the next couple days after that when he signed the executive order. Now, people said that on central banker WW3, he had said that that there was somebody had sent a link or something where they said all the White House staff was outside of the gate when Trump was leaving the White House. So obviously something's happening where he's fearful of his life, something, or they played it well to where his warning to the public didn't really. It seemed like a warning about him, but it was actually to the public, and maybe they put the staff on the outside of the fence to make it look good. But this is my thought on it. So we saw Trump. And I apologize if it seems like I'm screaming. I hope you guys can hear me all right. So Trump says he has a lot of rich enemies, and we're probably not going to see him for a while. Now that you could take that, a lot of people I think are taking it as he's going to get either assassinated or something's going to happen seriously to him. But I don't think that's it. I think it's a warning to the public, personally. And I think, and especially now when you see, if you go to JK Bugout's channel, I looked on Dabu Sevens, but it wasn't on there. But JK Bugout had brought it up again on yesterday's video. And I was listening to this morning on my way here back to Eloy. I'm picking up in Tucson tomorrow morning, going over to Salina, Kansas, or Salina, Kansas. I call it Salina, other people call it Salina, but I think it's Salina because it's S-A-L-I-N-A, so I guess it is Salina. And so my thought on it is, if we've already seen Trump after he said, you guys probably aren't going to see me for a while, and look it up, it's all over the place, everybody's talking about it. I don't think it, like I said, I don't think it's a warning like he feels like he's I think it was a warning to the people. Now, if you think about it, if the lights are off, you're not going to see anybody. But I think he put a warning out to the people, you're not going to see me for a while. So is an EMP coming? Are they going to cut out the power grid? That's the thing. I mean, because we saw Trump afterwards, he signed the executive order on the whole COVID whatever thing just the other day. And that was after his tweet or whatever after Ohio. So obviously we saw him right away after he said we probably won't be seeing him for a while. So if you think about it, with a blackout, you're not going to see him for a while because it's going to be a blackout. So have a heads up, man. Have a heads up. It's coming. So, and another thing I want to know is where the fuck are all the men? Where are all the men? I mean, I've put multiple videos. I put my cell phone out there for people to call me to organize. Don't stand up for this. Don't do this. Don't do that. I've put out I wear my medical notice badge because I won't wear a mask. I see fucking guys all day long in the truck stops wearing their masks. I mean, not everybody, but a good majority of them, everybody's wearing a mask. Where the fuck are you men? Where are the men? You got women like back in a few months ago when the hairdresser, the salon owner, you know, she opened up her business even though they told her not to, and she went to jail. You have the other lady that was in the park over in Idaho. She went to jail. I don't see any men talking up. I mean, fucking Glenn Beck, he's such a fucking turd. He sits here talking about, oh yeah, vets should do this and protect the monuments and protect the statues. Where are the vets? Yeah, he said the other day, oh, I wear a mask just to be courteous to people. You're not a fucking man, Glenn Beck. You're not a man. You're not a man. So, and another thing, so where are all the men? Where are all the men? I don't see, I mean, I know my brothers are men, but I guarantee they're wearing masks. So you need to get a card, man. Yeah, I mean, go make up your own, man. Go make up your own. Get creative like I did. Where are the men? And where are all the pastors and the preachers and the priests and everything else? Like Dr. Martin Luther King when he was out there marching with black folks and everything else. You don't see pastors and preachers and priests. You don't see any of them standing up and marching with people and say, no, you're not going to close my church. You're not going to separate us people. You're not going to tell me that I can't have a church service. You had that guy over in Kentucky, the pastor that had his congregation got together in the parking lot and he was going to have a service. He had an intercom out there and the state troopers went and blocked all the entries to the church. Where are these pastors? Why aren't you guys walking down the street? Yeah, Pastor Rick, I'm kind of talking about you too. But in South Dakota, you don't have that problem because South Dakota is not closed down. Although he said, when I talked to Pastor Rick, he said something about the higher ups in the church or whatever they won't let you open the church or whatever. Start marching, man. Start fucking marching. And excuse, you know what? I'm not even going to say excuse me for swearing, man. That's how frustrating it is. You guys, everybody needs to be out, and I mean, these priests and preachers and pastors, they need to start getting together and say, you know what, we're going to march on this thing. So Trump had a thing the other day, he had a press conference, and some guy was a little snitch. He says, Mr. President, why there's like 20 people standing in the back of the room that don't have masks on. How is that okay? Like a little schoolyard snitch. Teacher, Tommy's picking his nose again. Come on, man. And Trump said, well, they don't need to wear masks. It says for political reasons, you don't need to wear a mask. And if you're peacefully protesting, you don't need to wear a mask, which I think is pretty ridiculous. So, of course, they did the peaceful protesting. You don't have to wear a mask for all the BLM bullshit and the Antifa stuff. But anyway, so why aren't the priests and the pastors getting people together and saying, let's go peacefully march? You don't have to wear a mask. Start standing up to these people, man. I mean, I'm trying to do it. I can't do it by myself. I see some guys out there. I went over to Deming, New Mexico a few days ago, Friday. And I caught some fuel there. And I went in there and I had my little tag on, and New Mexico was mandatory inside. And the kid says to me, he says, sir, do you have a mask? I said, no. I said, I have a pass on that. I said, I can't wear one. He goes, oh, okay, that's okay. He said, well, at least thanks for wearing that. He said, we got guys that just come in here and they won't tell you anything. You're like, sir, you got to put a mask on. No, I can't. I won't. He said, at least you have something that's legit. So, little does he know it's not legit. But anyways, where are you men? Where are you men? Stand up, man. Stand up. So here's my thought on this. So Trump is warning us that there's a blackout coming. It's got to be. Why else would he tweet, or why else would he come out and say, you guys probably aren't going to see me or you guys may not be seeing me for a while. But then we see him a couple days later signing an executive order. So obviously he already had that on his agenda. So he already had that on his schedule where he was going to sign that. So why would he warn the people? He already knew he was going to sign this executive order. He already knew it. He already knew that it was on his schedule. So why would you just come out and say, you guys probably aren't going to see me for a while? He's warning us that there's an EMP coming. They're going to knock down the power grid. And then all these people that aren't prepared are going to be asked the fuck out. So, and here's another question. So I was talking to my cousin Dan he drives semi as well. And we were talking last week, and I asked him, I said, why is it, if you think about 2016, when Hillary and Trump were campaigning, that's all they did. I mean, you got to figure, man, we're only like, 60-some days away from election time, November 3rd, and it's already August 10th, so you got 31 days in this month, right? 21, plus you got September, October. So, okay, you got a little under 90 days, right? So you got 50, so you got about 70-some days, right? Till election, supposedly election. And you look, you don't see, I mean, he was just in Ohio, but you don't see Trump out there actively campaigning every single day. If you think back in 2016, him and Hillary were constantly going to every state, multiple cities in every state, day in and day out, for weeks and weeks and weeks, maybe even months. If you look at what Trump and Biden are doing, okay, Biden still has not announced his running mate, right? So that's pretty weird. He said it was going to be the first week of August is when they were going to when he was going to announce his running mate. Still isn't done. It's like they're going through the motions just to make it appear like there's going to be an election. They're just going through some minor motions. And I'm sure if you're out there campaigning every single week, every single day, I'm sure it's brutally exhausting. I mean, how could it not, right? And these politicians I'm old. I'll be 51 August 27th. So, for older people, that's exhausting, man. Shit. Getting up and going to take a piss is exhausting when you're old, right? But, so my point is, they're only going through minor motions to make it appear that they're actually having an election. Trump and Hillary in 2016 were balls to the wall every single day, every single week for months. Campaigning in every state, multiple cities in every state. You see Trump having some rallies here and there, and you see him going to Ohio, whatever the case is. Sorry, the phone's moving around. So what does that tell us? You got Biden. Biden's not doing anything. He makes an appearance here and there, but they're not going balls to the wall like they did in 2016. Think about it. They're going through some slight motions of an election. Slight motions of campaigning. Just very minimal. Just to make it appear like they're actually going to have an election. So my prediction, you got the NFCA, the Not Fucking Around Black Militia Group. I don't know what the CA stands for, but the NF literally stands for Not Fucking Around. I know A is around, but they basically, and then I don't know what the CA is. Anyways, so they were in Louisville, Kentucky 2 weekends ago. They told I don't know if it was the mayor of Louisville or the DA or the governor of the state, but they went and they met with somebody. I don't know if they actually met with them, but they let them know, I forgot the lady's name, but there was a black lady killed in Louisville, and this NFCA feels like they're not working on this investigation fast enough. So they went and they made a demand. They said, if you don't have a decision on this investigation in 28 days, we are going to be back here and we're going to burn this motherfucker down. That was their words. So, if you look at it on both sides of the fence, the city of Louisville is not going to sit there and bow their heads and say, oh, well, you guys want results in 28 days, we're going to meet your demands. They're not going to say that, because then people around the country will say, well, we want ours done in 28 days. We want ours done in 28 days. And you're going to have all these people going to their cities and they're going to make demands. So the city's not going to bow their heads and say, okay, well, we're going to give you a decision in 28 days. They're going to not give them a decision in 28 days just to prove to them, you're not going to push our city around. So they're not going to do it. They won't, they can't. They can't. They'll look weak. Now, if the NFCA, if on the 22nd of August is the deadline. The 22nd of August, just in a few days. Now, if you're the NFCA and you make a demand like that, and sorry if I'm screaming, I know I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can hear me over the fan and my air conditioning and the truck idling. I'm not like Paul Begley all fucking trying to be dramatic. So, if you think about it, if the NFCA on August 22nd, if the city of Louisville does not give them an answer or give them a decision on this investigation and they do nothing, they're going to look like some chumps. So, look for something to happen in Louisville on August 23rd. Because they would have, realistically, you'd have until midnight of the 22nd to have a decision. The city of Louisville will not bow their heads. They will not do that. They'll look weak. The NFCA is going to have to do something, or they're going to look like they're blowing smoke everywhere they go. So something's going to happen in Louisville on the 23rd. Is that the possible blackout? So they can create martial law and lock everybody down? Because, okay, so let's back up a little bit. So you got federal officers in Portland. The UN told Trump, you cannot violate protesters' rights and have federal officers in there and intervene. You can't do that. So the UN's been telling Trump, you got to pull them federal officers out of Portland. You think Trump's going to do that? Absolutely not. He's laughing at him. So now you have the UN threatening Trump that if he doesn't pull them federal officers out of Portland, they're going to intervene. But now if you have something happen in Louisville on the 23rd, guess what? The UN's going to come in, is my prediction. And of course, I'm just speculating, but my prediction. So Trump doesn't bow down to the UN in Portland. Louisville doesn't bow down to the NFCA. The NFCA goes in and starts burning Louisville and wreaking havoc there. What do you think's going to happen? You think there literally will start a civil war, and the UN's going to come in and they will create law and order. So they will shut everybody down and they will put everybody under martial law, is my prediction. Now, how do you do that? You got to kill the grid, because people, you're not going to have your cell phones, you're not going to have the internet, you won't have social media, because that's the way for us to communicate. And that's why they shut down the churches. That's why they closed down and bankrupted all the small businesses. That's why you can't go to a wedding, you can't go to a funeral, because they want separation and they don't want us to talk. So if they're shutting down churches, bankrupting small businesses, not allowing people to have weddings or funerals, do you think they're just going to create martial law and put everybody in their house and let you communicate? Absolutely not. And for people that are putting their money in cryptocurrency, hey, more power to you, man. More power to you. We have silver. Silver skyrocketed, like I listened to, and we've literally almost tripled our money on silver. Not like we got a shit ton, but we got enough. So, anyways, if you put your money in cryptocurrency, I get it, man. I mean, I was thinking about putting, $1,000 in XRP, just because central bankers said, hey, man, it's a good investment. But my guess is, okay, if the power goes down, you're not going to be able to access your crypto. You're not going to be able to access your bank account, nothing. So they will have literally their thumb on us the whole entire time. They will have that thumb on us. So I really think that Trump warned us that there's a power outage coming by saying, you guys may not be seeing me for a while. And that's what it means. If it's dark, you're not going to see anybody. I really think he meant to warn us. I really do. He's not going to bow down to the UN. Like I said, they will bring the UN over in Portland. They will bring the UN into Louisville, because the NFCA in Louisville will go fisticuffs, and the only people that will be able to come in to break it up is the UN. So look for martial law, unfortunately, and look for things to get extremely bad here at the end of this month. Now, here's another thing. Excuse me. Must be the COVID. Here's another thing. So, everybody's been talking about how there's going to be a major lockdown come fall. They said that all people, the government's talking about... Sorry, the phone's shaking so much. I'm trying to balance it on my steering wheel. So, they're talking about another major like an isolation thing where a lockdown's coming, and they say nobody's going to go anywhere, right? So a lot of people are saying, well, it's going to come in fall. I don't think so. I think it's going to come way earlier than that, because if they're telling us fall, people are going to get ready. But if they spring it on us much sooner, people are not going to be ready. So think about it. And I know we're constantly kicking the can down the road. I know it's always like next week, next month. Will they say this date? Will they say that date? We keep kicking the can down the road. I get it. But it just makes you get on your, it makes you bring your A game every single day. There's nothing wrong with bringing your A game every single day. So if they're saying, oh, it's not going to happen for a few months, be ready this week. Don't procrastinate. And that's the thing is, I was going to do a video on prepping and brushing teeth. Prepping is like brushing teeth. And I was going to write it all down, but I'm not. And I don't, just the impromptu is the best way to do this. So prepping is like brushing your teeth. Not everybody does it. Some people do it morning and at night. Some people do it way too long. Some people don't brush their teeth long enough. So brushing your teeth is just like prepping. Not everybody does it. Some people do it too long. Some people don't do it enough. Some people do it morning and night. So Think about it as brushing your teeth. Don't be that person with a nasty mouth. Be prepared, is all I can say. I really, really, truly think that Trump was warning us, because we saw him just a couple days later signing the executive order. Trump's not that guy. He's not going to come out and say, and like I said, I voted for Trump. He's not the same Trump I voted for in 2016. I know that. He's doing a lot of things wrong in my mind, but who am I? I think they've threatened his family. I think he first came into this thing and and he's a true patriot. I believe that. I believe he loves his country. I believe he's a successful person and a businessman. But I think he came into this whole thing, lock, stock, and barrel, and said, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to change things. And I think he realized when he got into it, this is way more powerful than I thought. The deep state is way more powerful than I thought. And I think they probably threatened his family and him as a person. I mean, if somebody threatened me, kill me. I really don't care. I'm not afraid to die. I don't want to burn to death, and I don't want to drown. So, and unfortunately, we don't have that convenience of choosing the way that we'll die. I'm not afraid to die. But if somebody told me that they were going to kill my mom and my wife and my child and my cousins and my nieces and nephews and my friends, all in a horrific way, if I didn't listen to them, yeah, you're damn right I would listen to them. Because I wouldn't want to see that kind of pain to little kids. And maybe that's what they did. I don't know. But the current Trump is not the same Trump that I looked for or I voted for in 2016. So look for something to happen. Trump warned us about a blackout. That's my honest. That's my prediction. That's my opinion. And yes, I'm speculating. But he's warning us that a blackout's coming by saying, you guys may not be seeing me for a while. The UN's coming. You guys got to be prepared. It's coming. This is never changing. This is, and I've said this months and months and months ago in videos. The America that we were in last year this time is not the same America. We will never go back to being the same. Never, ever, ever. If you guys think that once after the election is done, that they're going to pull the masks off and we're going to be just holding hands and skipping down the fucking road, that it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. This, and I know my wife doesn't like me to say it, but it's a new norm. This is never going back. We are never going back to the way we used to be. Never. So get it out of your heads. We're never going back. And yeah, okay, well, we got 200 million guns. Yeah, we got 200 million guns, yeah. We got a lot of patriots, yeah. But we're not organized. Might as well have fucking water guns. So anyways, I know I'm going off on a rant. I apologize. But you need to be aware of everything that's going on. And here's another thing. If you start, because Trump doesn't wear a mask, right? He wore one at Walter Reed and I think one other time. But if you start seeing Trump wear a mask a lot, that's not Trump. It's gonna, they say all these presidents and these higher ups all have a double or multiple doubles, right? Like Kim Jong-un and all these other people, right? They say they all have a body double. If you start seeing Trump wearing a mask, that's not Trump. He's in a bunker somewhere. That's not Trump. If you start seeing Trump wearing a mask all the time, something's coming. You need to be prepared immediately if you start seeing Trump with a mask. So anyways, I'm going to stop yakking my jaw. If it makes sense to you, so be it. If it doesn't, so be it. I'm just out here trying to tell you guys what I think. We're prepared. I just hope that you guys are. So I hope this video finds you well. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.